I want to get started on our impressions of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So a resounding thumbs up from you or a resounding thumbs down?
I thumbs up it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
That's good. That's good. So what is there anything in particular, non-spoilery, that you liked about it that that made you feel like it was a good film altogether? Or
Well, something very different about it is it was very specifically aimed to teenage girls, which doesn't happen very much in big budget movies, and especially, I mean, there aren't many big budget anime movies made, and it's not the best attempt at like a teenage girl you can relate to this, like, you know, but they tried, and I really appreciated it, and I really liked it.
yeah, so your overall impression is pretty much it was good.
It was good. It was badass. She's a badass bitch.
Now, that was something I definitely appreciated, is that they didn't shy away from the anime of its root, its origins.
Yeah.
Another thing that I thoroughly enjoyed about it is that it actually makes me want to go see the original source material, the original anime itself.
Yeah. Battle Angel Alita.
Exactly. Yeah.
That James Cameron directed it, produced it. He actually got the rights to Battle Angel Alita in the 90s, and he's been working on making a movie for 3 decades now.
So you mean Avatar was made so he could save up money for this film?
Well, he originally half made this film with the same technology that he made Avatar with.
So that's why she looks a little bit blue. That's why.
Yeah, that's why she's slightly blue.
And comparing this to other anime to live action adaptations, you would consider this a very successful attempt.
Yeah, it's probably one of the first actually decent anime to live action adaptations that they've probably ever made. I mean, they're all so notorious for being the worst movies. Like,
we're looking at you, Death Note.
And Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, God, don't bring that nightmare up.
Yeah, they're just so renowned for being awful because either the director doesn't lean in and rely on the source material and do something true to the original source, and they try and make it like too realistic or tone it down and everyone hates that, or it just looks ridiculous and no one can take it seriously because they lean too far into it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they definitely did a very good medium ground where, you know, like obviously it's set in like 300 years from now or even more.
I think it's like
years.
400 to 500 years. Yeah.
So like, and they've completely like reshaped the whole landscape of Earth, but you know, it's still believable. You're not just like, wow, this is taking place on a foreign planet that I can't believe this happens.
Yeah, it's sort of like the way that it's been set up is definitely that you're made to believe that this is far in the future and how far humanity itself has come into that. So I'm going to bring up, I've got the box office for Alita Battle Angel.
All right.
So its production budget was $170 million. Relatively low for the amount of CGI that was actually in this film. I was actually really surprised. I was expecting around over $200 million.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Especially like because your Marvel films are getting up to that high production budget. But to look at it so far, its weekly box office, we go by worldwide figures here on Media and Demand. So the total gross box office is just over 130 million.
Okay, so it's getting there.
Yeah, so it obviously it hasn't made it on the first weekend, but it is just the first weekend. And obviously with a film such as this that is getting good word of mouth, that obviously maybe not everyone can go see it opening weekend. You get you'll get some more of the teenage crowd basically, or more of the little girls coming in to watch the film. Yeah, because a lot more word of mouth comes out and people realize, oh, it's PG-13. Okay, I'll go see it with my daughters. Yeah. Well,
for sure, I don't think the advertising was that good for it. Like, I think they really advertised to a weird niche that aren't going to be the actual viewers of this movie. Like,
I feel like
sports, cyberpunk, watches. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the advertisement as well started a bit early.
Yeah.
And kind of spiked.
Yeah, I feel like I heard about this movie like a long time
It was
ago.
a good 2 years ago where
Yeah.
I think like word started coming out of it.
Yeah.
And I remember not seeing anything for a long time for
Yeah.
it until finding out that it came out.
Yeah, and well, obviously it's getting pretty good reviews, so a lot of people will probably go catch it that they weren't necessarily going to watch it earlier. But
Exactly.
again, it's getting good reviews, so people are going to go out of their way to go see it.
Yeah, in comparison with another anime movie, my absolute least favorite, Dragon Ball Evolution, it made total lifetime box office of just over 57 million.
Shit.
It doesn't even have the production budget on here.
That sucks for them.
By the CGI on that, you'd say it was made with $10,000. But yeah, I'm just incredibly sad about Dragon Ball Evolution. And the fact that there had been talks of doing a live action Dragon Ball Z, I was kind of a little bit like,
Please don't.
Maybe not.
Yeah, well, they're attempting a lot of live action things that are very risque.
Yeah, especially on the anime front, especially like Death Note. Like we recently watched that. You're an avid fan of the anime.
Yeah, I watched it years ago.
Yeah, and I have never seen the anime, and watching that movie made me think maybe I don't want to watch the anime, but clearly they've definitely changed the story way too much.
They're literally two different stories with different characters, like that share names but zero personality traits. Like you don't even understand what they were thinking. Like
yeah, because Kira means light in Russian.
Of course, like everyone knows
100%.
that, and that's why he picked it, because he was I'm not just gonna go by light. I'm gonna go by light. Like
exactly.
I'm being a secret, so I'm just
really
gonna use my own name. Like. So ridiculous.
Yeah, because like even the premise of it, I was just like, "What the hell are you doing? You're plastering your name out on crimes. You're not even there.
Yeah.
If you literally just write the thing down, don't mention anything about a name or anything, they're gonna die. They'll assume it's an accident. They'll probably put it on someone else. Boom, you're done.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah.
But nah, stupid teenagers have to do stupid things.
Yeah, he's dumb.
Yeah, and then Willem Dafoe scaring the hell out of us.
Yeah, he's so
He's basically
terrifying.
just Green Goblin again.
But like Ryuk isn't that like he's a spooky looking guy. All of the Shinigami are, but like for the most part, they're just kind of regular dudes, like a bit cheeky.
He's sort of less Green Goblin, more Joker.
Yeah, more Joker, like, and like not necessarily evil in any way. Like they're just like here to watch what happens. They're not, and like it's a Shinigami rule to not influence what happens. Like not tell people who has the Death Note, or like tell the Death Note owner if people know who owns the Death Note. Like they don't do nothing. Like they just sit back and watch. They don't like in the movie. He's like, ooh, write his name. Like see what happens. Like.
He's very much like over the shoulder, like the little demon on the shoulder.
It's just like, what the fuck? Anyway.
And that's an example of basically like a wrong way to do an adaptation. And looking
Netflix.
and looking at the way that Alita Battle Angel has gone, it looks like that's actually a really good way. Is that it's leaned a bit more into its anime roots, not so much that it's not believable, but enough to make you think that okay, in this world that's realistic. A one giant wheeled motorbike, I could believe it,
and just like Ito just being like, yeah, that's a hunter warrior, my dude. Like, and you're just like, all right,
that's
it's a hunter
we don't
warrior.
Have cops, dude.
I get it. Cool. Like, sick.
And the name itself is a little bit cheesy, Hunter Warrior. But obviously, like, what are they going to call them? Like, contracted police?
Yeah. Like
that's boring. It's an anime world. You got to call them, like, the correct name. Rosa Salazar as Alita herself. Minusing out any CGI or anything like that, do you think that she did an amazing job at it or a terrible job?
I think she did an amazing job at it, especially seeing as I don't really know her from anything else. She's not a super well-known actor.
She's in Bird Box, but I actually recognize her from Maze Runner 2.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I saw the second one.
See, Maze Runner was actually that was another incredible series. It was like a book to movie adaptation where it was surprisingly really good. Like when I watched it, I was just like, it's another Hunger Games, whatever.
Yeah, it just came a little too late. If it had come before Hunger Games, it probably would have picked up a bit more traction, maybe.
It would have been a lot better, considering that I've watched both Hunger Games and Maze Runner, and I 100% prefer Maze Runner, even though Maze Runner itself has zombies.
Yeah.
I'm not a big zombie fan, but Maze Runner is like an amazing film.
Yeah, right.
And so she plays one of the kids, basically, that they find once they leave the maze.
Yeah.
I think it's the Scorch Trials.
Yeah.
She plays one of the people that they find outside of the maze and basically help out, and she helps out them. So, in Alita, I feel like a lot of her mannerisms she did really well. Because from what I know of the production of it, she was there.
Yeah.
They did the whole like Andy Serkis treatment on her face, basically, and got all that set up. And then all of her mannerisms were all basically just copied from her acting it out.
Yeah.
So, and just the transformation on the face as well. Like I said, still a bit uncanny valley. But that's what you expect from this type of movie.
And they didn't aim to make her look human. She was obviously an orm, whatever.
Yeah.
So she looked a little inhuman because she was from Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just hard to look at for like the first 5 minutes, and then you completely get used to it. And I didn't notice it after that. The only thing that bothered me actually that I noticed a couple times during the movie was her hair, where the hair animation just was like slightly off, and like it reminded me of like Brave when that movie came out. Did you see that?
I never saw Brave.
That was just one of those movies, same with Moana, where like they had that curly hair and they must have just spent like hours and hours and hours rendering like a billion little individual hairs.
But no hair animation beats Shrek.
Yeah, of course, sure. But yeah, like they clearly didn't put, I mean, I'm not going to say like they clearly didn't put any time into it, but they put less effort.
Yeah.
You know, they've rendered like individual pores on her face. Like you could see very close up sometimes, but her hair was a bit iffy sometimes.
Yeah. But I overall, I think that the building up of the character through CGI, through Rose's acting, all together is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What do you think of the design of the costumes? The costume design overall, do you think it was an awesome thing to put together?
Yeah, I really liked it. It's very much something that's my aesthetic. Like I love anime where they go. It sort of reminded me almost of Ghost in a Shell, where it's like very futuristic, but also like modern-ish.
See, that's another also anime to live action adaptation where people have said that it wasn't exactly the greatest.
I think people said it was okay. Like it wasn't the worst thing they'd ever seen, but it wasn't by any means good.
I think it just had a lot of uproar because Scarlett Johansson herself played a character which possibly
Asian.
should have gone to an Asian character.
Yeah.
They tried to put it to like a whole she's in a robotic body. She's got an Asian mind, but like she's put in a robotic body, and it's like still.
I haven't seen that yet though. I watched Ghost in a Shell when I was like a kid, so I've seen it, but I don't really remember what it was about. Like I'm sure it has a lot more that I just didn't pick up on as a kid. I know it was a huge influence for the Matrix series. Like the Wachowski twins or whatever have said like Ghost in a Shell was a huge inspiration when they made the Matrix. Which doesn't line up with what I remember Ghost in the Shell being. So I feel like I can't really talk about Ghost in the Shell.
Well, we'll have to do our homework when we get back to it.
Well, it's on Netflix now, the live action.
Yeah, the live action, but also the anime.